Hello guys, ghouls and gals, and happy holidays. I'm your ho-ho host, Nick Nightmare, and today we will be taking a step back to look at an old mascot horror game that I haven't thought about in a long while. A game that I thought would be very thematically appropriate for this time of year, as it also takes place around Christmas time. This game is Tattletail. In Tattletail, you play as a small, nameless child who mischievously sneaks out of his room a few days before Christmas and goes downstairs to unwrap the gifts your parents hid from you. Upon unwrapping the present, you find your very own talking Tattletail, a small, Furby-like creature with state-of-the-art care technology to give you the very feeling of playing with your very own pet. He eats, he gets dirty, but most importantly, he's rechargeable. You can check Tattletail's needs in the top left corner with 3 bars, each communicating his hunger, grooming needs, and battery life. And if any of these run out, Tattletail will very calmly let you know.
Give me a treat! Give me a treat! Give me a treat! Give me a treat!
The first night is pretty straightforward. You unwrap Tattletail, test out some of his features before returning downstairs, where some of the lights have seemed to go out. Strange, but hey, it couldn't be that bad. Oh, and look at that, there's also an egg where Tattletail's box is now. Was that there earlier? If you look at the side of the box, you see that one of Tattletail's special features is that he lays eggs. He must have laid it before and we just missed it, right? Upon returning upstairs, the phone rings and a hint flashes across your screen. Don't answer the phone. And you know what? They're probably right. You're a little kid who has no place to be answering a phone call in the middle of the night. On the other hand, it could be your Nigerian prince cousin who just needs those funny numbers on the card your mom used to buy you V-Bucks in order to send you $1 million. So let's answer it. Oh no. Anyways, robocallers aside, we go back to bed and... Wait, the front door is also open. And there's another egg. And a third next to our bed. For the most part, I'm gonna try and ignore the eggs until later in the video, but for the first night, I feel it effectively sets up a tone for the game. The box says that Tattletail is the one who lays these eggs, yet the only Tattletail you've seen thus far is the one you were just holding. And unless it has superhuman-like speed, then it didn't just dash past you out of its box just to lay 2 more eggs and leave. But let's continue. Once again, you get back up in the middle of the night to play with your new Tattletail. But this time, there's a strange noise coming from the basement. Get used to this. This will be a running theme throughout the game. Anyways, upon investigation, the dryer is running, and if the egg is anything to go by, this is probably the doing of some furry little, and yeah, it's Tattletail. Who would have thunk it? Going through the spin cycle has really done a number on Tattletail's battery, and after charging him on the charging pad that our parents didn't even bother to wrap, thanks Mom and Dad, Tattletail decides it's time to play with everyone's favorite toy, the priceless family heirloom. By some grand tragedy, you break the vase, and the lights go out around you. Tattletail doesn't take too kindly to the dark, something that he will very calmly let you know.
Ah! 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 Ah!
When you wrap Tattletail back up and make your way back to your room, you hear someone forcefully slamming on your door. Luckily, your mother has made sure that no one has the chance of even accidentally opening the door to any Jehovah's Witnesses by completely removing the door handle, so the only thing you can do is head back to bed. The next night, you are once again woken up by a loud noise, this time a grating, grinding noise. You head downstairs to look for Tattletail, to find that the door behind the charger is now open. And look, a trail of eggs. Tattletail must have left us a trail so we can... Oh, you're new? By loading the cassette into Mama Tattletail, Mama will tell a story about her children hiding away from her, but still being found due to being able to hear them. Ominous. We can now hear Tattletail upstairs, who seems to have decided that the living room waste bin made a good toy. Oh, you little scamp. Honestly, as annoying as this would be, you should expect this by now. This is the same little shit that thought using a vase in the basement would make a good toy. Now we must bring Tattletail back to Mama, who has decided she does not want him. I can't blame you, Mama. Neither do I. We wrap Tattletail back up and start to head upstairs, only for the lights to go out. Mama is waiting in the darkness, her glowing red eyes shining through the darkness and her cassette player grinding to warn you she's near. Now, this seems like as good a time as any to get Mom involved. Oh, okay. Parental figure out of the question. Maybe we should just head to bed then. Except there's still a mess in the living room. And if Mama kills us when we wake her up in the middle of the night, I'd hate to see what she'd do if she saw the mess that we left in the living room. In all honesty, so long as you don't panic and just watch for Mama's eyes, there's enough lighting upstairs that you really don't even need your flashlight to get through it, meaning you also don't have to make noise, making Mama a non-threat. The next night, you're once again woken up by a strange noise, chattering coming from outside. This sound seems to be coming from the garage. Must be Tattletail talking to himself. So, your mother was so gracious as to get you yet another Tattletail. Joyous day. You, Tattletail, and Tattletail Piss Edition decide to play 3 games of hide and seek. This is honestly probably where the game is at its strongest. Upon tagging Pisstail, the lights go out and Mama is on the prowl first for 30 seconds, then 1 minute, then a minute and 30 seconds. During this time, while Mama is on the prowl, Tattletail still needs to be cared for. This is what the game is known for, keeping this little shit quiet and trying not to die while Mama skitters around in the dark, and honestly, at times, it's pretty fun and tense. After finding this little lemon-flavored munchkin around the house, first under the tree, then in your room, and finally in Mama's room in the basement, he gives you a tape to play on the TV in your room. I return to my room to play the tape, leaving Tattletail dirty and hungry for being an annoying little shit. The tape is a recording of an old commercial for Tattletail. As the commercial plays, Mama moves from her camera and begins seemingly to kill some of the people on the recording set. The rooms also begin to fill with garbage bags. This may have some sort of implication behind it, but I'm simply not smart enough to think of it right now. The closest I can think of is the possibility of the bags either being filled with other Tattletails or body parts, as they only begin appearing once Mama goes on her rampage. The next night, you are woken up by the worst alarm clock ever. This tiny bastard just can't let you sleep. God damn it. Upon picking him up, Tattletail tells you that they're throwing a party for Mama in the basement. Running to the basement, it's revealed that the door is locked. Mom finally wised up to her antics and is just trying to keep us out of the basement at this point. But she forgot to lock the door outside. Seriously, the most irresponsible parents ever. Jesus Christ. When we arrive downstairs, we see that our friend from the previous night is there. And one more. Seriously, did Mom just stock up on every Tattletail she could find? Surely we're getting something else for Christmas. When you place Tattletail on the charging pad, he and the other 2 Tattletails order you to deliver another friend downstairs with this cute little mission. RSVP, find a friend by the Christmas tree. See, it's even got a fun little rhyme. During your time running errands for the Tiny Terrors, Mama will randomly knock out the lights and go on attack, although she does have a few very specific cues. When we find our first friend, if the lights are on, Mama immediately knocks the lights out, and this blue Tattletail's hair is extremely dirty and knotted. But luckily, the brush is right next to his box, so this isn't a huge deal. Next, we are once again told to find the next Tattletail, this time the mission reading RSVP, find a friend in the garage. Not as fun as the rhyming mission we got before, but it's whatever. We find another box in the garage, and as soon as you pick this little shit up, the lights go out, and he begins blabbing about being hungry, forcing you to rush back to the fridge to shut him up. I can now see why he did not get any fun rhymes. So, upon bringing both of the new Tattletails to the basement, we move on to the next step in preparing this party: gathering party supplies. I think the party is supposed to be prepped before the guests arrive, but I'm not one to judge. And for some reason, Tattletail feels the need to accompany us, to make sure we gather the right supplies, I guess. Once again, this is a really strong section of the game, going upstairs to grab supplies with Mama randomly knocking out the lights and forcing us to survive. But I feel like I'm doing a lot of the heavy lifting here, guys. Could you at least do something? Upon placing Tattletail on his end of the pentagram and lighting the candles, the ritual begins. The Tattletails chant, "No more Mama," telling you to rewind the tape. But before you rewind it and banish Mama, she once again knocks out the lights, stealing the candles and hiding them in vases around the basement. And this is where the game unfortunately suffers to me. It has the same issue as the first encounter with Mama, where because of the lack of Tattletail, Mama doesn't really pose any real threat. However, what she does pose is an absolute fucking nuisance. Breaking the vases make noise, and Mama will randomly teleport around the basement, meaning if you get unlucky, which tends to happen to me a lot, she'll teleport too close to you and make it impossible to safely grab the vase. Your flashlight is constantly being knocked out, making it impossible to navigate the basement. But it doesn't pose the risk of running into Mama because she makes a loud ass grinding noise and her eyes glow in the dark. It's not a difficult section by any means, it's just annoying. But honestly, these are the only real problem areas of the game, and it probably didn't help that I played this section 3 times in a row. Once for the good ending, once for the bad ending, which I had to delete all of my save data for, and one more time because on my first time playing for the bad ending, I forgot to record. So maybe it's my fault I found this section so irritating. Upon collecting the candles, we can begin the ritual once again, destroying the tape and banishing Mama. The lights come up, the Tattletails go back to their gift boxes, and you return to your bed. The next day, and I do mean day this time, it's Christmas, we can finally open our presents without Mama punishing us. Or not. If you get the bad ending, Mama will attack you upon opening your gift. However, if you find and collect all the eggs hidden throughout the house during the nights, you can actually open your Tattletail up once again, and for helping him he gives you 2 gifts. His birth tag, which lists where he was manufactured, and a golden shake light, which will keep its charge longer than the normal one. Finally, we can wake up Mama without being killed, ending the game on a good note. Or so you may think. This game actually has some free DLC in the form of the Kaleidoscope. We start on Christmas Day once again, as you supposedly relive the memory of your first meeting with Tattletail. And this time we're actually able to play with him. Let's see what wacky things he may say.
New activities. A cloud is a noun. Airplanes can fly without flapping their wings.
Butterflies are old caterpillars. C-A-T spells a word.
Oh. Kind of disappointing. Suddenly, during your riveting time with Tattletail, you hear a knock at the door. A letter is left for you with a strange eye symbol. The note seems to know that something is wrong, most likely either your own mind speaking to you, or even something like a therapist. It tells you something is wrong with your memory and asks you to think back to the night before Christmas to try and remember everything that happened. Going back,
Please
Tattletail
wake
is...
up. It's me, Tattletail. Hello.
Yep, still acting strange. When we head to the basement, we see Mama sitting at a table with 2 of the other Tattletails. They both have eggs on their plates, and one tells the other they're sorry for stealing his egg. We place Tattletail on the plate so that he may sit with them.
So he is best served in water.
Thank you, Tattletail. The letter tells us not to panic, but our memories may be all mixed up, and if all of them are messed up, Tattletail may stay boring forever. The next night, or I guess I should say previous night, I don't know, time travel bullshit, but we see one of the Tattletails crying about his egg being missing, with the other Tattletail hiding with it in the garage. And wouldn't you know it, it's the same little shit that was whining about being hungry earlier. Who would have guessed? By opening the egg, we find another note. This one tells us someone may be recording over our memories, making them strangely cute and changing Tattletail to be boring. The next night
Let's tell a joke. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Banana.
Banana who?
Bananas are a good source of potassium. Ha ha ha.
Thank you, Tattletail. We once again go down to the basement, bringing Tattletail back to Mom. She's still in her normal spot, but upon bringing Tattletail to her, the lights go out once again. But she stays put. That is until we go back upstairs to see Mama and the two Tattletails with their eggs, with the blue one's egg being broken. The note this time mentions a place called the Kaleidoscope, where we can go to find what's messing up our memories, but we're trying our best to avoid that as it can be dangerous. The next night, Tattletail is no longer in our room, and we can once again hear the dryer going downstairs. Maybe he's fixed, or not. No, he was just being courteous by helping you wash your clothes.
Wash your clothes before drying.
Thank you, Tattletail. By searching the rest of the basement, we see Mama congratulating the two other Tattletails for fixing a vase that they had broken before. Anyways, by completely destroying all of their hard work, we once again find another note, warning us that we have one more shot at this before we have to use the Kaleidoscope. The next night, we run back downstairs just as we had at the beginning of this journey. And he's still just as boring. This time, there's no side story with Mama and the other two Tattletails, instead letting us just find a package in the middle of the basement where the next note is. The note tells us the Kaleidoscope is our last hope to save Tattletail and make him fun again. Or, we could just go back to bed. Yes, this is an actual option. I don't really have any emotional ties to Tattletail. Why would I risk my neck for him? So the Kaleidoscope seems to be hidden under the basement, most likely a representation of the deep subconscious of one's mind, where only the most forgotten memories reside. We go down the stairs, effectively trapping us here, as there would be no coming back from this after coming down, due to sheer drops into the pitch black darkness. There seems to be a separation from the deep memory of the Kaleidoscope and what has been hidden away in this very cool, almost glass-like refracting light. The entirety of the Kaleidoscope seems to be this hue of blue, and everything is very warped and strange. Tattletail seems to be at a loss for words in this area.
No facts available.
Thank you, Tattletail. There are also other Tattletails around the Kaleidoscope, all of them missing something called a way drive. Mama Tattletail is there too, but she doesn't really do anything, as we don't have a cassette to load into her. The deeper we go, the more warped our house seems to be, as we finally reach a large hole in the floor, where the floor seems to twist, and we finally find what's been corrupting our memories. A videotape. One last note is taped to it, stating that by watching the tape, its power over us should be destroyed. The videotape is a re-recorded version of the Tattletail commercial.
Baby talking Tattletail, touch and then you'll hear him say, you can feed him treats, he really eats. Baby talking Tattletail, he can tell when Mama's there. She's your best friend, she was never banned. Baby talking tattle, baby talking tattle, baby talking tattle, baby talking tattle, baby talking tattle. Baby talking tattle, baby talking tattle, baby talking tattle, baby talking tattle, baby talking tattle.
Horrifying. After watching the videotape, we're brought back to the first night of the game once again. We find Tattletail, and it seems he's gone back to normal. We play out the rest of the night, feeding him, brushing his hair, and we go to wrap him back up. Oh, well, this is...
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Orange.
Orange shoe.
Orange, you protect someone!
Oh my. So it seems as if we never even left the Kaleidoscope, Mama pulling us back in, as we're forced to try and navigate back out while also avoiding Mama. This is another very strong section, as we try to make our way to the end. The fridge, brush, and charging pad are fairly significantly separated from each other, and it will sometimes force you to fall back in order to keep Tattletail quiet. It's actually an extremely tense section, with Mama being even more aggressive than usual, which not only means she'll be more of a threat, but it also keeps the game moving, as she will no longer just sit in an area to make it impossible to leave for almost 5 minutes. Yes, I am still bitter about the vase section, fuck you. Finally, as you make it to the end of the Kaleidoscope, Mama calls out to you, begging you not to leave her here. Finally, we reach the end of the Kaleidoscope and leave. We wake back up on Christmas Day, we go to open our present, and Tattletail tells us that we finally fixed him, and decides to finish us off on one more joke.
Let's tell a joke. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Me.
Me who?
Me love you.
Thank you. This game was huge when it first came out, but I rarely hear anyone talk about it anymore. This is most likely due to lack of content, as since the Kaleidoscope, I haven't heard of any other games in the series being made. But even still, this game still stands up. The gameplay is pretty fun, it has some tense sections, and it has some extremely solid character designs. I could actually believe that Tattletail was a real toy, even more so than I can believe Furbies are. I mean, how could you sit here and tell me that this thing is made up just for a game, while this thing was something an actual human being thought of, then went, yeah, the kids will love this. Mind-boggling. This being said, that doesn't mean I would want a Tattletail, which honestly means I'll probably get one in the future anyways, as previous experience has shown. Overall, I'd say the game is a solid 8 out of 10, even despite my small nitpicks earlier. I really enjoyed going back through this game for the making of this video, but unfortunately, my time for this video is up. I hope you all enjoyed. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell icon to be notified when I upload, and feel free to let me know of any other games you might like to see on the channel. And with that, I hope to see you all within the archives again soon. Goodbye for now.